Hello there. Hello and welcome to the lunchtime hour with, well, myself and the co-host that's not here. Jose is sick, so he's skipping this one. He will work double time on Thursday. He knows that very well. So today it's me flying solo. So I thought maybe it would be a good time to do a quick Q&A, earnings review, digest, etc., etc. I know, Intel is up 10% today. Believe it or not, Intel is up actually. Yesterday it was up already 4-5%. Today it's up another 10%. So I'm quite happy with that. Hello everyone. Quick scroll through here through the chat. Dave JD said something positive about Intel. Yeah, we're going to look at that. Canadian, hello. Paul, how's everything going with you? Hello. Join in. Like I said, Jose is sick, so it's just me today. It's just me and my wonderful velvet luxury couch in the background. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, I want to touch on that Intel news. Well, news. It's not really news. It's more about rumors. Skittles in the house. How are you, man? I know it's actually now that I started 30 minutes earlier, it's a bit earlier for you. So let me show you. Let me show this one right here. So Intel gains as VP Vance says AI chips will be made in the US. So this is one of the main reasons why we're seeing Intel up today. But Intel has been up yesterday as well, 4-5%. Today another, and now it's 7.8%. So there's definitely something happening behind closed doors. Maybe somebody knows something about the new CEO coming in. I guess we'll know. When that will be announced. But it's basically this. There was an AI summit, I believe, in France. So said the following: the Trump administration believes AI will have countless revolutionary applications in economic innovation, job creation, national security, healthcare, free expression, and beyond. And then this is basically it, I think. To safeguard America's advantage, the Trump administration will ensure that the most powerful AI systems are built in the United States with American-designed and manufactured chips. Now, we know we've talked about TSMC a lot on the channel as well. So that's going to be interesting, but we know that TSMC is not going to be building the most advanced nodes and chips in the United States. It will first be built in Taiwan and then the rest in the United States. Plus, those being built in the United States will be more expensive as well. We also know that, we know based on reports and rumors that Intel is a bit ahead when it comes to, the next node, the most advanced nodes. I think this is something that TSM N2 is supposed to launch second half of 2026. Intel's 18A is expected to launch later this year. So they've got a small lead there. Of course, we're going to have to look at what the yield looks like, etc., etc. So that's basically it. I mean, seeing Intel up twice in the week, I'm quite happy, especially since the rest is a bit red, right? We've seen, let me show you. So who's green? That's we should put this in Le Louvre. Intel is green, AMD is green. I mean, when was the last time we saw these two players green when the rest is a bit red or flat-ish? SMCI is down big right now, but it's expected to report later today. It's been up also quite a lot in the last couple of days. It's up 20%, close to 20% in the last couple of days, 27% in the last month or so. So yeah, we'll see what happens with SMCI later tonight. I'll do an earnings review. Hopefully they do mention something useful. But let me check on the chat now that I'm here alone. I have to do things alone here. Manuel, hello, how are you? Baba is green as well. Yes. Baba is green. My Baba position is actually performing very, very well. Let's see. Greetings from Germany. Guten Abend. This is a good evening in German. You see, you don't need Duolingo. You just need Duolingual couch investor. TSM has been building fabs in the United States, but it's more expensive than in Taiwan, and it's not going to be the most advanced nodes. That's what they said. Not me, that's them. OPG, first time in your lives. Thank you very much. Welcome. We're live every Tuesday and Thursday. This time I'm live 30 minutes earlier because I do want to go have dinner with my father. So there is that. Plus Jose is not here today. AMD starts to go up. Yes, I guess me buying into AMD is one of the reasons why, one of the catalysts why the stock has gone up in the last couple of days. So that's great. Yesterday, Intel Drive was credited to Mobileye, the announcement with Lyft. Lyft was also up yesterday. And to be honest, I made a video about Lyft. Lyft also reports later tonight. I did a video about Lyft a couple of weeks ago. I thought it was undervalued. I thought it was flying under the radar. They've had partnerships with Mobileye and other players as well. And if it works out, right, if they do roll out autonomous vehicles by 2026 or in 2026, and it works, then this proves that Uber is not going to go away anytime soon, Uber being the much bigger player here. Because right now we've seen, right, with Uber, with Lyft, autonomous vehicles, Waymo, Tesla, and all of that are going to destroy their businesses. But if these things will work out, which I believe they will, I think the opportunity is quite big. Is quite big. What is the application you are using? This is on Seeking Alpha. I have a link if you want. I have a link. You don't have to use it, but if you want to use the service in the premium version, I have a link. It will help me out. Thomas asking, do you envision Lyft as a long-term hold? Lots of competition. Well, I think my answer just now is the same answer. Long-term hold, I don't know. Maybe a quick trade. Let's actually pull up Lyft, because I do think it's undervalued still. Today it's down actually 4% after being up yesterday. But it reports earnings. I mean, it has definitely underperformed. But I do think that if, of course, we continue to go up and to the right with all of the metrics, profitability, active riders, and all of that, I think there's money to be made. Now, will I hold it for the long run? I'd rather just hold Uber. That's just me, of course. I'm biased. What else do we have? Let's check on the fintech players. All of them down today. All of them down today. Adian is flat-ish, 0.5%. What's happening with SoFi? Down 2.05%. PayPal 2.43. Okay, I guess a bad day. Robinhood down 4%. I know there are some questions about Robinhood. I mean, I love the business. When it was at $8, $10, nobody really seemed to care much about it. But I made some money on it. Could have made much more. But yeah, it's a trade position. It's a trade position. Could have made more. It's a tremendously good business that has quite a lot of momentum. I've seen that they've launched options trading in the UK already, which is this is quite some fast-paced innovation there. Hello, Gary. How are you? Let's see. I'm going to go over a couple of things. Any insight on Micron? I still love Micron as long as the stock remains, what is it, 90 something dollars? Yeah, 93. I'm a happy accumulator of Micron. It's going to be very, very important. It's SK Hynix, Micron, and then Samsung. But with Samsung being a bit behind in HBM and all of it, I think Micron and SK Hynix are going to be huge, huge winners, especially if you start having more and more AI on device, you're going to need way more of those memory chips. Tesla continues to go down. That is true. No, I don't really feel that bad selling some of my shares, taking profits when it was at above $400, down another 4.8%. I mean, remember, guys, we said this, and I'm a big Tesla shareholder and fan. In the last 6 months, since the election, the stock had doubled. Yeah, okay, the stock had doubled since the election. Based on what? Based on basically Donald Trump winning the election. Then, after the earnings report, right, which, let's be honest, wasn't the greatest earnings report, the stock went up, and it didn't make sense. That was basically my title of the video. Tesla earnings doesn't make any sense. Okay, I guess the market needed a couple of days and weeks to figure that out. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, to be honest. Might be because of tariffs and this, but don't forget that the tariffs with regards to China, Tesla is building the cars in China, so it's not really going to affect them that much. What else? What else do we have here? Alibaba has a deal with Apple, really? What, the Quen model? I wouldn't be surprised, because I think that's Apple's direction to partner up, because Apple Intelligence is not really that intelligent. We've got Thomas here asking, NVIDIA is the semiconductor giant, but I am extra bullish on Broadcom in the next couple of years with their custom chips as company may look. Yeah, I agree. I should have pulled the trigger on Broadcom at 130 when there was that overreaction, I think 4 or 5 months ago. But again, you cannot buy everything, because usually when there are overreactions, then a lot of other stocks, and particularly my own positions, have come down as well. So I accumulate more of what I already own. But yeah, Broadcom has performed extremely well, especially in the last 6 months. It's up 57%. It might be a little bit overextended on all of that news that more of the big tech players are going their own way with regards to AI custom chips and all of that. Might be a little bit overextended. So we'll see. It's still a tremendous company that will definitely gain from all of that momentum in the future. My personal plays are, of course, as you know, Intel, nice little bag there. AMD, which I believe I am now one of the few that is a new shareholder that isn't in the red. I know a lot of you have been holding AMD for a long, long time. You are probably in the green and then some. And then I have Micron. I still think that Micron will be a very, very good winner in the future. SMCI tonight is going to be very interesting. I am very, very curious to see whether or not we're going to get the earnings report, which are probably going to be preliminary numbers. And if we get some more news regarding the filings, right? It's been a long, long time. They still have 2 weeks. Until they reach the deadline, and then it's basically over. If they cannot file it on time by February 25th, delisting, over the counter, your shares will not disappear. It just goes OTC, and that's about it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see if we have this. How do you decide how much to put into each stock when dollar cost averaging? Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. It depends on the company, right? It depends on the company. It depends on if the business is doing very, very well, but the stock has been hit. It depends on the positioning of the stock. If it's already super big, like SoFi, for example, in the public portfolio, SoFi is already the number one position. So yes, the stock has come down. I'm still up triple digits on that position. So I'm not going to add thousands and thousands of dollars just because it dipped 5-10% or so. Companies like AMD, yeah, there I don't mind adding $1,000, $2,000 if it dips, because the positioning here matters. Same with Disney. Yes, I hold Disney, pretty boring, but I think I'll do quite well with Disney over time. With regards to Celsius, that's another bag that I'm holding. Thankfully, it's not a big position at all. So here again, positioning does matter. I'm down close to 50% on that. So imagine if it was a big position, the portfolio would have been hit quite a lot. The main concerns is just to wait and see when we get that huge order from Pepsi, right? When we see that reacceleration in growth. Plus, and see if internationally the expansion works out. This is something I've been saying from the start. Just because they're expanding internationally does not always mean it's going to work out. New markets, let's see if it does work out. I'm not adding anything. I don't mind adding when the stock goes up 10-20%. I just need to see the business starting to move in the right direction. That's about it. And yes, it's true. Who said this? Dave, you're right. It's probably also because Tesla down because of the bid to buy OpenAI, which is quite crazy. What do you think about small moderate SMRs, stocks like Oklo, SMR, Rolls-Royce? I didn't know Rolls-Royce was in the... I thought Rolls-Royce was only like Rolls-Royce, the engines for planes and all of that. I didn't know they were in the SMR game. Oklo and SMR are those players, but again, these are long-term bets. Long-term bets. Investments that need to work out. I just don't know if after, I mean, let's look at Oklo. I think it's the most popular name. You see, it has gone up already so much. Now it's just a show me if really the business is getting more and more revenue, more profits, or something like that. Because yes, it's true, we're going nuclear, but all of these projects usually take a long time. So whoever traded all of this momentum, I mean, congrats. It's just not for me at the moment. Does buying AMD at this point make sense? I feel like investing $1,000. Can NVIDIA and AMD both rise together? This is not financial advice, but I bought AMD last week. So to me, it makes sense. It's a growing market. Right? These players have existed in the past, will exist in the future, and they're both growing, right? They're both growing. Why did I buy AMD and not NVIDIA? Purely probably because of the market cap difference and the growth potential, right? The disconnect, in my opinion, between the stock and the reality of the business. So that's why, but that's not saying that you should sell NVIDIA to buy AMD. No, if you hold NVIDIA, I really don't see any reasons why anyone would sell this business. So yeah, advanced money destroyer might make us a lot of money in the future. Might, of course. And then again, I'm holding Intel as well. So I still believe that Intel will outperform this year. I know I made this prediction at the end of 2024. People were laughing, but I will be laughing 10 months from now, I think. Hopefully not crying, but yeah. Yeah, with regards to Celsius, it's true, Manuel or Manny. Too much competition with energy drinks? Yes, that is true. which is why I want to see growth reaccelerate, right? It's not enough for me to see, oh, the stock is down. No, I need to see growth reaccelerate. There is definitely a lot of competition in energy drinks, but that didn't stop the other players from growing, right? That didn't stop Monster Beverages, the stock, to basically destroy every market's performance. It's yeah, it's an interesting market to see how they're growing. Celsius has very good partnerships as well with podcasters, with Ferrari in F1, and probably many other things there. So it's, as we've seen with Red Bull and Monster as well, it's basically a marketing game, right? Who's the best at marketing will probably have the higher sales over time. Guten Abend, Liquid Universe. How are you? Thank you very much, Thomas. Thoughts on Reddit? I think it's promising only if they can find a way to convert users to. Yeah, I mean, the stock has gone up tremendously, right, in the last, what is it, year or so. I just hate the platform with all my heart. I think it's a horrible, horrible platform. But yeah, apparently they've been doing something right? Because this thing has gone up and up and up quite tremendous. In the last 6 months alone, it's up 305%. So it's yeah, it's the same with Snapchat, although Snapchat has not performed well at all. In the last year, it's down 8.8%. Last 6 months, up 17, but yeah, it has underperformed by quite a lot. They're still growing, but they need to figure out the monetization part of all of it. I know Reddit is reporting this week. Maybe I'll take a look at it, but to be honest, I just dislike this platform so much that I'm probably going to be biased from the start. But that's why I should only look at the numbers, and that's about it. You got to have good convenience store exposure. People at home just drink. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true, which is probably why that investment and that partnership with PepsiCo is important, right? Because it gets you that shelf space in different areas. So yeah. New holdings. What has been happening with new holdings? Not much. No, it's still at $13, I think. Yeah, closer to 15 now. 14. Can't even count. New holdings, still a tremendous company. But like I said, I will just increase my Mercado Libre position in the core portfolio. The core portfolio is pretty simple for me. It's Tesla, Amazon, Meta, Google, Mercado Libre. Those make up the majority of the portfolio, and that's probably not going to change anytime soon. Is it too late to go for SoFi? What do you feel about its prospect? Just for info, I added a couple of more shares last week, and I have no intentions of letting go of my position, despite some people turning bearish because suddenly the stock is not up another 1,000% in 2 hours. I still think the business has a very bright future, great management, great execution. The tech platform is true; it has been slower than expected, but they gave me zero reason to doubt them. That's it. Let's see if I missed something. It's been such a bad year so far. Well, depends. I mean, remember 23, 24 were incredible years. I've shown people. Let me actually show. I've shown people. I can show you again. Something interesting. That's going to be in one of my next videos after the whole earnings thing is over. Look at this. Hopefully you can see something. If not, I'll just repeat what I'm seeing. This is the year-to-date performance for the Dow Jones, S&P, and Nasdaq. It's up. It's up year-to-date. But if we compare it to Germany, France, and China, it is underperforming. Am I surprised? No, not at all, to be honest. Not at all. And by the way, this is on Coifin. There's also a link in the description if you want to try it out. I'm not surprised, which is why I talked a bit more about China and European stocks at the end of 2024, because after 2 great years, I was expecting a slower start. Plus, China and Europe, especially these markets, have not performed as well as before, and there were extremely good companies that were trading at some attractive prices. Of course, me personally, I went with Chinese stocks and not European ones. Could have gone with Novo Nordisk, SMN, and stuff like that, but I decided to go the other way. So, yeah, don't forget we're only in February. Only in February. Still a long, long way to go. Long, long way to go for this year. Let's actually check on the Chinese ones. So Alibaba is up, Pinduoduo is up, okay, and all the rest down. Baidu down, Neo still down. This thing really never moves. This is incredible. This is incredible. Nick here is up 55%. Yeah, I mean, yeah, HIMS is up, what, 70% this year already, which is quite crazy. So congrats on that. I've seen somebody ask about Lyft. I talked about that a couple of minutes ago. With regards to PayPal, PayPal has an investor day later this month, so the stock will probably move because of that event. I'm going to cover that, of course. I think it's the last week of February, I believe so. Might be a stupid question. There are no stupid questions here. But why does... where did it go? Here. But why does Micron always go down when NVIDIA goes down? I don't know. It's just markets doing the marketing. It doesn't really have... Well, unless NVIDIA says something, then it might affect Micron, but the stock movements... Yeah, sometimes a group of stocks move in the same direction, but nothing to be worried about, in my opinion. Let's actually see. No, still okay. I mean, NVIDIA down 0.74, Micron closer to 2%. Big deal. Sorry, I'm late. It's okay. You are excused. Let me just pull up something. Poof. Voilà. I'm plugging here is my $30 off Seeking Alpha Premium. There is a link below if you want to help me out or help yourself out. What else? Hi, Lisa. How are you? Hope you're doing quite well. Grab. I did a video about Grab last week. A quick update because I know it's been a while since I talked about Grab. I mean, my first Grab video from a while ago was a couple of months ago. Did go up, then came down, then went back up, then came down again based on those merger things. It's a great business. I indirectly own Grab because I own Uber, and Uber has a 12.5% stake in Grab. So this is my exposure to it, and I'm sticking with Uber as of now. What else? A novice question, but when planning to accumulate stocks, how do we make up a mind when the price keeps on increasing for good stocks and not always wait for dips as with... Well, it's fine. That's the thing. People think that you can only dollar cost average when things go down. It's actually quite okay to dollar cost average when things go up as well, right? Because if the company is doing well, okay, the stock price will go up, but what's the problem? The question here is how much do you want to pay for it, right? If a stock's revenue is growing 20% and the stock is up 50%, they beat by $10 million and the stock suddenly soars incredibly, then it doesn't make that much sense. But dollar cost averaging up is not such a bad thing to do, especially not if you want to grow your position. BEP. For some reason, I have heard about this stock. BP. Oh, no. Brookfield, too complicated for me. It's an amazing thing and all of that, but Brookfield, leave me out of it. I try to understand this whole structure in it, but no merci. Thoughts on Nebius? Well, Every time I make a Nebius video, the stock pumps. So I guess I'm the market mover. I don't hold it. Should have bought the 37% crash. But then again, I added two other positions. But yeah, could have been a nice little short-term trade. Great company. Market didn't really understand what it did. That's why the stock went down 37%. And I explained exactly why in the video, why it did not make any sense. But I would like to know a bit more about the business in the coming quarters because, well, they came back into the public markets more recently. So I want to learn a bit more during the earnings call. So we're definitely going to cover all of that whenever they will report. Airbnb reports this week. Of course, we're going to cover that. It's been a laggard. Let's be honest, it's been a laggard. But we'll see. We'll see what the company reports, margin-wise, free cash flow-wise, and then plans of those new products that they plan on launching. Skittles here doing Grab's work. Well, Grab investors' work. Grab is delivering his dinner tonight, so all the Grab investors should thank him. What else do we have here? Oh yeah, Shopify. I did a video about Shopify because they reported earnings. It went down, then it went back up, then it went back down, and now it's back up. Okay, so the dip has been bought. It's an amazing company. I'm not gonna lie. It's an amazing company, but not cheap at all. Not cheap at all, but I'm not surprised that the market is buying the dip. Not surprised. So yeah, congrats to all the Shopify shareholders out there. Thomas here saying, Neil, it's a cult, but I swear it's a good cult. You should take another look at Brookfield. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I spent a couple of hours looking at this business last year. It's an amazing business, great management. The whole Brookfield structure is crazy. Not just BEP, but all the rest as well. It's just too complicated. Too complicated. Elian, thank you very much for the 99, or I call it $1 super chat. We really appreciate that. What's the difference between a zero total market? This is if anyone wants to answer this in the comments, please do so. This is the first time I'm seeing these stickers. I assume it's the fee structure, the structure of all of it, but I don't want to come up with a BS answer. So I'm going to leave it on the screen, and whoever wants to answer it can answer it. Any thoughts? In the meantime, I'll just read the other things here. Any thoughts on Kraft Heinz? Funny thing about Kraft Heinz is that when I started investing, it was one of the first, I won't say one of the first, I think it was the second year that I started investing. So I started in 2016. And because this was a sort of Warren Buffett type of stock, I also owned it. But I haven't really looked at it since. So let's see. Kraft Heinz. Let's see. Yeah. Bloop, 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 bloop. Market cap 35 billion. Stock has been really horrible, right? In the last 5 years, this thing has done absolutely nothing. Does it pay a dividend? Yeah, it has a small dividend. But yeah, if you want a dividend play, there are many other great options for dividends, right? Verizon is a good one, for example. Nike, you get the dividend plus the potential rebound that will probably take longer than expected. You've got Pepsi, you've got Coca-Cola. They reported earnings today. So, and then you've got, of course, the tobacco stocks that are paying a huge dividend. The yield is just crazy there. So there are better options if you're looking for for a dividend play, in my opinion. Let's quickly check on the bets here. So Nebius continues to go up. That's nuts. Who's taking a hit today? Cooler is taking a hit. I guess buying Bitcoin instead of focusing on profitability and growth might not be working out as expected, which is probably why, well, not probably, which is definitely why I stopped looking at it. All the rest here down as well. Rigetti, Rocket Lab, 5.7% back to prices not seen since I think yesterday morning. Yeah, all the quantum computing stocks are still up quite a lot. All in all, the local flat-ish to $13. If this thing is not at $20 at the end of the year, I don't know what's going on. Owlet's still at the same price since, well, approximately when I bought it. So, okay, not much here. Let's go back to the fintech one and since what's been going on here. Oh, we've got Manuel here with the $20 super chat. Thank you very much for that. Any thoughts on PSIX? PSIX, Power Solutions International. Wow. Wow. The Owen Wilson clip has to pop up right now. This is interesting. So this thing is up 2,000% in the last year alone. Market cap just short of $1 billion. All of the ratings here are buy or strong buy. What do they do? Let's see. Who's writing about it? Maybe I know them. I do not. So they design, engineer, manufacture, markets, and sell engines and power systems in the United States, North America, the Pacific Rim, Europe, and internationally. The company offers engine blocks integrated with fuel system parts as well as a completely packaged power. Okay, this is already out of my zone of competence. But let's go on their website and see what we can find. But 2,000% in a year, that's nuts. That's really crazy. But yeah, it's probably one of those companies, that flying under the radar and then suddenly poof, it explodes. Let's look at growth here. Maybe not. Maybe not. But from a profitability standpoint, it does seem like it did do quite well. Interesting. I like, in my next video, I'm talking also a bit about Waste Management, the company. If you're a golf fan, you probably know that they sponsor the Phoenix Open, which a Belgium guy won, by the way. But again, it's one of those, it's a boring business, but it's a business where revenue continues to go up, free cash flow is starting to reaccelerate. I mean, great businesses that are usually boring and not really looked at could make for a great portfolio. With this thing right here, PSIX, Manuel, I promise you that I will look a bit deeper into that company. It certainly piqued my interest just by looking at this performance in the last year. Maybe let me actually do this. We'll see what happened with the business itself. Let's see, PSIX. So yeah, from an EPS standpoint, it seems like it has grown quite quickly in fiscal 24. It's up 121.3%. But then in fiscal 25, it will only grow 10%. So yeah, PE is now 15.2 times forward PE. So okay, not that expensive. But then again, we don't really have that many analysts covering these companies. I don't really know how much we can look at or we can focus on what they're saying. But it seems like revenue did come down in the last couple of quarters, but profitability started to go back up. Profitability, net income, and gross profit. So I think that's why. And with revenue, again, revenue growth, not great, not great. So probably the easy gains were made. Probably that's what I'll say. The easy gains were already made. Hopefully that is a good answer. Thoughts on Fubo? Thoughts on Fubo in my small bets portfolio, which you don't see because it's not public. I have a couple of shares of Fubo that I bought. I think I'm up as much as it's up today, which is 2.4%. I think the risk is off the table, which is what I said a couple of months ago when the stock was obviously trading at $2 or so. The risk is gone. And now it's consolidating around $4. We'll have to wait for the next earnings report to hear a bit more about their plans and the financials and all of that, profitability. But yeah, I think this thing, despite it being up quite a lot in the last couple of months, I think it can fly much, much higher, especially with the backing of Disney. And then maybe in the future, who knows, maybe Disney might completely sell off this Hulu Live / Fubo business. Could happen, right? Could happen. Let's see. Hello. He's been a very, very long time watcher and subscriber, so I really appreciate the support. You're up 25%. Well, congrats. Could have been up 2,000% if you bought a year ago, but then again, could have, should have, whatever. Still very, very nice. 25%. You are beating the market just on that position alone. So congratulations. We have here Carlos asking about the Cheesecake Factory. I did one video about the Cheesecake Factory just because a lot of you have been talking about it because you watch Jeremy's videos. He has done well with that. To me, it's just not interesting. Not interesting. I think, again, these are the types of businesses where, same with Honest, I think the easy money has been made. And then afterwards, I'm just not interested in following these businesses. That's it. Could go higher, but then again, many other companies can go higher, and those companies interesting more, like Micron, even Disney. It's boring, but it interests me way more than following a Cheesecake Factory company or Honest, if we're being honest here. See what I did there? Nebius, same thoughts as before. Good company. Market didn't really understand it. It's up a lot. But yeah, I'm not going to chase it. I have now AMD, I have Intel, and I have Micron, and I'll focus just on that. Could still be a big winner for this year. My first video was, I think, one of the first on YouTube talking about Nebius. It's now a market cap $9.65 billion. Wouldn't surprise me if it goes even higher this year. Wouldn't surprise me. So why am I not buying? Again, I've got my other place that I think will do quite well. I think Intel, AMD, and Micron, I'm exposed enough. Yes, please hit the like button. And I assume if you're writing, you're up subscribers, because only subscribers can write. So yeah. Alvaro, any reason why Intel is up 8%? Yes. If you go back to the start of this live stream, I explain exactly that. There is an AI conference going on in France. JD talks about making sure that America stays number one in the AI game, and all of that will be produced in the American. Yeah, all of that will be produced in the American economy. So Intel gaining on that a little bit because Intel Foundry is in the United States, blah, blah, blah. So that's in short. And I'm happy. I can't complain. Are there any news about sales of newest ASML machines? No, nothing. No, as of yet. Any thoughts on Intuitive Surgical? Well, this is the company I'm going to touch on in the next video, along with waste management. So You'll have to wait for that. A bit patient. Probably tomorrow, I'd say. Probably tomorrow. Yeah, probably tomorrow. Tomorrow's video. Amazing company. Amazing. Not cheap, but amazing company. Any thoughts on Viking Therapeutics? Well, the stock is back down to levels that have been not seen since last year before they announced the phase two results. Again, it's a $0 revenue company at the moment. So you're basically betting on the fact that somebody's going to acquire it, or, well, they're going to announce some great results and then the stock jumps 80, 100% just on that. So yeah, it's a bet. It's a bet. If we're going to be winners or not remains to be seen. Well, my beard is not that majestic, if we're being honest. It's not that majestic. Could be better though. Am I interested in Salesforce? I was interested in Salesforce a while ago when everybody hated it, which is always the best time to be interested in such companies, when everybody thinks it's going down, it's going to disappear, blah, blah, blah. Now, no, I do think, and this is also, again, you guys know already what type of videos I'm planning on making in the next couple of days. It's incredible. I do think that the likes of Salesforce, Snowflake, Adobe, and all of that software plays, which is probably why when the DeepSeek news came out, these types of players went up, Meta, Apple as well, because the price of inference and all of that does come down. That's basically what DeepSeek proved, that you don't really need expensive stuff to make sure that all of these AI investments make sense. Again, the $6 million figure and all of that, let's not focus on that. Focus on the results, what DeepSeek does, DeepSeek, Llama, and all of that. We talked about that. We said, look, this is not going to decelerate anything. This is going to accelerate the whole AI movement. More people will start building on top of it because it becomes cheaper and cheaper. And I think Salesforce, being a software player with Einstein and all of that, their AI solutions, I think it also becomes cheaper for them. Same for Adobe, inferencing, all of that becomes cheaper for them, which should make the AI thesis of that business make more sense. With Snowflake, same thing. Remember, Snowflake last year were one of the only ones that publicly said that they were going to stop buying so much when it comes to GPUs until they actually see that it makes sense revenue-wise, demand-wise. And I think it was the smart move. So am I interested in Snowflake? I'm not going to buy it. It's a very good company. But yeah, there are better. I won't say better ones. Alternatives out there. Novo Nordisk hasn't gone anywhere year to date. Why is it back down? No. Yeah, it did drop a little bit. Okay. It's true. It hasn't moved actually in the last month. But still an amazing business. It's down 35% in the last 6 months, as we've seen with the earnings report that I did last week. The review, still a tremendous business, a money-making machine, to be honest. So yeah, for all those interested in these types of plays, of course, you could have probably done much better if you just bought HIMS at the start of the year. It's up already 80%, which is crazy. I still think there are a lot of questions with regards to that business, compounding and all of that. I know GLP-1s is just a small part of the business, blah, blah, blah. I know. But it's expected to become a larger part of the business. Plus all of the, I don't know, never mind with HIMS, never mind. I want to pull back on CrowdStrike to 400. Remember last July or June? I think July or June, one of the two. Remember when it came out crashing down? I hope people here did buy the huge crash. Actually, this turnaround is quite nuts. with CrowdStrike. Quite crazy. Thoughts on tomorrow morning's CPI? Nah, what we've seen in the past reports, not really a needle mover, let's be honest. It's going to create some headlines, but as of right now, all of these figures do come in line, so I don't think that's going to do much. I think the expectations for the year are already set with regards to interest rate cuts and all of that. So it will create maybe some volatility if there is like a small miss, but I don't really care much, to be honest. David with the £2 super chat. Thank you very much. Ever heard of IQstel? Xtel? IQstel. Let's see. One share is 18 cents. This is already out of my. Let's read what they do. Provides telecommunication services as a wholesale carrier of voice short message service, SMS. Okay. I bet you didn't know, huh? I bet you didn't know SMS was a short message service. Who even uses SMS anymore? And data, other than scammers. And data for other telecom companies. It offers VoIP. VoIP. There is an old app that we used to use to call internationally in a cheap way before WhatsApp became a thing. But yeah, I mean, revenue has almost 10x in the last. Well, we don't really have 2024 figures, but that's quite interesting. My only problem, these are penny stocks, and I usually stay away from those. 18 cents, and then the market cap super small. For me, it's just a no-go. It's just personal. But yeah, interesting names that you guys keep mentioning here. Do I think Uber will hit 100 before the next earnings? I don't know. I said Uber will hit 100 this year. If it hits it before the next earnings, which is next 3 months, I don't know. I don't care. To be honest, I don't care. I am very comfortable with my Uber position. I don't know why, but 2025 does seem like the year where my contrarian trades will work out perfectly, and I'll be smiling left to right. Plus, we're going to reach 100,000 subscribers this year, so that's also going to be quite cool. Quite cool. Thoughts on FSD in June? Again, I'm a big Tesla fan. I'm not a fan of the timelines. I think we can all agree that the timelines are questionable. This we already had. Where is it? AppLovin. So AppLovin, we talked about AppLovin when there were some rumors that they wanted to acquire Unity. I think Unity should have just sold. In the last year, this stock is up close to $700. This is incredible. I have no thoughts about this company. This is now a $130 billion market cap company. I mean, there is a reason for it, right? Revenue went up, profits went up. This is a very good business, just not my thing. Not my thing. I know some of my viewers own it because I've seen the ticker symbol pop up sometimes. But yeah, and look, with AppLovin, you can see that the stock doubled, and even after that, it doubled again and again and again. So just because the stock is up double doesn't mean it cannot go higher and higher. If the business continues to perform, the stock, there is no reason why the stock cannot continue to go up. Let's checking back with our fintech guys, and nothing much has changed. Nothing much has changed. What do you think about United Health? It's like ASML. Well, no, not really, because one is United Health and the other one is ASML in the semiconductor industry. I don't know. I haven't really been following the stories after what happened, but yeah, it's not the whole healthcare sector in 2025 is a no touch for me at the moment, especially not in the United States. Many changes are going to happen there. Plus, I've commented this on an Oscar Health comment. I just don't know much about all the changes, Medicare, ACA, etc., etc. I just stay away from that if I don't know much. What is your take on Palantir? Not that it has gone up so much. Well, the same as before. It's just the stock has gone up so much, but my take has stayed the same. Great company, just expensive. So I'm not going to chase it. So yeah. Do you agree that Europe should just relinquish full control to Trump and Musk because they are struggling? No, no, because, well, Europe is Europe. It's not the United States. But Europe, especially Brussels, should start doing their correcting instead of playing little, would call it little dictators. But yeah, Europe has their own issues, which is probably why we're all invested in American companies. Pa-pa-pam. Do you think PayPal will reach that $100 limit? Limit? I hope it goes much more than $100. I don't know when. I thought it would have reached $100 already in 2024. Didn't happen. It didn't happen. But okay, will it reach it? I think so. I just don't know when. Maybe after the investor day, could be, but it's certainly not a limit. Certainly not a limit. Might be some resistance, yes, but certainly not a limit. Am I bullish on Palo Alto? What's the ticker? PN. Yeah. Am I bullish on Palo Alto? If Nancy Pelosi is bullish on Palo Alto, then I think we should all be bullish on Palo Alto. But no, I did cover Palo Alto when it went down, when there was that struggle still with Fortinet. I think it has performed okay since then. There was a split, no? With Palo, I think there was a split with Palo Alto, if I'm not mistaken. It's a good business. It's a good business. They did the whole switch last year with platformization and all of that. The market didn't really know if it's going to work out or not. Okay, clearly, just based on the recent results that we've got a couple of quarters back, it worked out, or it is working out. Let's say. I know they're reporting earnings this week. Maybe we'll do a review on that. It's 7 p.m. 7 p.m. in Belgium right now. So almost time for dinner. Almost time for dinner. I'm also curious about what SMCI. Look, with SMCI, I mean, we've been talking about this for a while. As long as they do not file, it's a toss-up. The preliminary numbers can be fine, but if they do not file before the deadline, then what's the point, right? What's the point? They will just get delisted and voila. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Just based on the stock's movement in the last couple of weeks, it does seem like some people know something. So yeah, we'll see. Or it's a rug pull. This is what we've seen with AMD as well, right? AMD, before they reported earnings, stock went up, 4%, and then bam, it crashed down. So we'll see. We'll see in a couple of hours. I'll cover that. Couch, I lost 1K on Shopify today. It went down 5%, triggering the stop loss, and then went, yeah. You see, this is why I don't do stop losses in these types of cases, because this can happen and it sucks. It sucks. I know sometimes stop losses do make sense on more speculative names, but yeah, in this case, especially not in the earnings season, you can get burnt, which sucks, to be honest. Is Intel cooked? No, Intel is cooking. Haha, voila. Intel is cooking. Intel isn't cooked. But I do still wonder who the new CEO is going to be. If it's going to be the new, the guy from Global Foundries, that's going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting, actually. Hood earnings report tomorrow. I believe so. Tomorrow after hours. Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah. Who else is tomorrow? The trade desk is also tomorrow. And then on Thursday we've got some other players: Airbnb, Palo Alto, Roku, and all of that. Or maybe Roku's also Wednesday. Can't remember. So many companies. Is a really, yeah. It's actually a kingdom. We were much more powerful before. For some reason, Europe's capital is in Brussels. So as corrupt as it gets, if we're being honest here. Now we're talking about dinner times here. No, I think dinner here is 6:37 something. By the way, everything here is closed after 6:30. All the shops, everything is closed. Even in the summer when it's super sunny outside and the sun only goes down late, a lot of cafes and bars close so early because God forbid we work a little bit more, right? Ugh, I just can't understand this. Anyways, we're now at the 1 hour mark. Usually we stop here. So we'll go a couple of extra minutes just to answer some more questions. And then I'm off to dinner. Stop loss only goes, yeah, exactly. SMCI creeping back up. Yeah, it was down a bit more. Now it's down only 6.5%. We're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens with that. Yes, I am. How the future looks. I did a video about Grab. I did a video about Snap. Did I do a video about Snap's earnings? I did not. Snap, I don't know. Snap is doing better today than before, although stock-based compensation is still at $1 billion or so, which is insane. And then QS, I assume this is QuantumScape. I don't know much about that. No. Born and raised. Am I sad about? Yeah, of course, I'm sad about selling Palantir because I could have been up another 40%. So there is that. Am I sad of not being part of the group anymore? Some people might say cult. I think I'm still part of it. I have my merch. I have my shirts. I think I'm still part of it. I've played my part as well as someone that does write for the Motley Fool and all of that for the last couple of years. When everybody was shitting on Palantir, I was the one that was quite bullish on the company. So I'm still part of it. Could have made more money. But then again, I already made quite a lot. I think I'm going to cut it here, and then we'll follow. Hopefully on Thursday, Jose is back because he's a bit sick. So hopefully on Thursday, he's back. I'll just address this. What do you think of the current value of SoFi? Don't look at PE for SoFi at the moment. Okay, don't look at the PE for SoFi at the moment because it doesn't make sense. This company is starting to become more and more profitable. A PE is also based on the analyst expectations, and I still think that the analyst expectations are way too low. So yeah, it can be 30, 50, whatever. I don't really care much about that at the moment. In the future, yes. Elian, thank you very much again for the super chat. What semiconductor stock would you recommend? Well, me personally, I own Intel Advanced Money Destroyer, which is AMD, and Micron. But to be honest, it really depends. It really depends on what semiconductor company you're interested in, whether it's foundries, whether it's wafer manufacturers like Lam Research, ASML, or like direct players, Intel, AMD, Nvidia, and stuff like that. So there are plenty of deals. To be honest, now in the semiconductor space, all of the names here on the screen are quite good names. On my channel, you can find a lot of videos about those companies. On Jose channels, you can find a lot of videos about that as well. So I highly suggest you go check that out. But yeah. lots of good companies in the semiconductor space. It just depends what you're looking for. So yeah, you've got TSM, Broadcom, if you want to play that. I would say bottom line of the whole semiconductor chain. Then you can go even a bit deeper, ASML, because they deliver the equipment. Then you can go a bit on the left and right, KLA, Applied Materials, which are also reporting earnings, Lam Research, so all of the manufacturers, wafer manufacturing equipment. And then on top of that, you have all the rest, the Microns, the Intels, the AMD, the NVIDIAs, etc., etc. So voila. Anyways, let me just show you my couch again. Ta-da! That's all right now. Like I said, on Thursday, we are going to be back with Jose, hopefully. And if not, you can check out the SMCI videos later tonight, and the Shopify review from a couple of hours ago. I'm probably going to cover Lyft as well. And then tomorrow, another special video. So yeah, stay tuned for all of that. I appreciate all the support, all the likes, the comments, the super chats. Really, really appreciate that.